welcome to King's Highlights. Thank you for joining me for Chapter 7 of Fire Emblem Blazing Blade. Our group is still on the road towards Castle Caelin, so Lyn can meet her grandfather and take her place in the Marquesdom. Anyway, they're on the road, they're almost there, and oh my god, what is it now? So we start off the chapter with a bit of action. This kid Nils is getting kicked out of this inn because his sister got kidnapped, and the innkeeper is like, nah, I'm not dealing with whatever mess you guys are in. And he says, you're a plague on decent folk. Excuse me, sir, this child is 10. And throughout all this, there's a mysterious stranger eavesdropping on the conversation. In the meantime, the group arrives to the same town, and Lyn is like, hey, how long is this going to take? And the knights tell Lyn that it's going to be another 10 freaking days. At this point, as the kid is leaving the inn, he spots the group and approaches Lyn for help. And immediately, Kent jumps to warn Lyn to be wary of even a child.
Worse than a rapist? Boom. A child. No.
So Lyn is like, sorry kid, I can't help you. I have to go find my grandfather before he croaks and my uncle steals all my inheritance money. And so Nils explains that his sister has been kidnapped and Sain freaking materializes. Is she an older sister, brah? Oh god, here we go. So Lyn ends up deciding to be a good person and help the kid, but not without Kent trying to stop her. My lady Lindis, may I remind you that your grandfather may die at any second? I'm sure he'll be fine. And so the bad guys come back because they want to kidnap Nils, but good thing Lindis is there to stop them. And she's like, hand the sister over. Yeah, what she said. And of course, being bad guys are not going to do it, so a fight ensues. So in this point in the game, you're able to access the preparation menu before each fight. And since none of the characters I've obtained have died yet, I have too many characters, and I can only pick a few for this specific fight. So at this point, I just look at the map to figure out which units to use, and I notice that there's no need for a thief because there's no chests or doors or anything to unlock. So Matthew, I don't need you for this one, and Wrath as well, because I have another archer, Will, who's level 2, and Wrath is 7, so... Now for this, I didn't really care about the formation. There's not that many bad guys, and it's too early in the game for me to be more strategic about it, so I just kind of rearrange them willy-nilly. Ugh, I hate to have to use Sarah. But before we can actually start, this dude appears again. And he explains to Lyn that he's here to join the fight because he saw what happened back at the end with the kid, and he wants to help him out. And wait, hold on a second. Long blonde hair, named Lucius, can use magic. I've seen this before.
Lucius Malfoy.
Lucius joining us is a good thing because he uses white magic and we're fighting against the Black Fang, and they have shamans that use black magic or dark magic or something. So we have the upper hand for this one. Hey kid, you have to pull your weight around here. Can you fight? No. I can do this. You're hired. So for this fight, I'm trying to level up the characters I've kind of been neglecting, like Urk. Oh my god, I haven't even leveled him up until now. So I decided to be nice and give Sarah something to do. So I sent her into this house. And inside, there's just some lady talking to herself about some old tree that can be cut down or something. So I decided to go investigate, and I sent Florina. And then I sent Will to the next house. And I think it's the same innkeeper because he's going on about these odd children who he wants nothing to do with. But he does tell us about the Black Fang, and they're a group not to be messed with. So I guess that's something. So for the next few moves, I'm just trying to get my guys to move over past this mountain range. There's a bit of a bottleneck here. So I am also trying to use other characters besides Sain and Kent because they're already pretty powerful. And I want guys like Dorcas, Urk, and Will to get more experience because most of these guys are level 2 or 3. And Dorcas, you're not allowed to die, so you're gonna get sent over there because I don't want your wife to get a letter saying that you're dead. Who's gonna fix her leg? I'm very proud of Florina for this one. I usually will not send my Pegasus Knights out on their own because I'm very paranoid of them dying. I'm very bad at keeping them alive. I'm so proud of my boy Sain. I'm not really worried about Florina at this point. As a Pegasus Knight, she's resistant to dark magic, so she should be fine. Also, Florina, you should be up in the air. Why is one hoof just touching the ground? So the other houses were optional, and this one's actually important that I get to. So I sent Kent, and once again, he gets an old guy talking about magic. So it's basically information about how units who use magic or staves or Pegasus Knights are resistant to magic, and those other units who use weapons are weak against them. And there's this item called Pure Water, which you can give to these units who are weak to them, and it makes them resistant to magic, but it does wear off after each turn. But knowing myself, I'm just gonna throw it in my inventory and not think about it ever again. Nils as a bard is freaking adorable. I love his little skips. So we keep advancing downwards, and Will does some stuff, Lynn does some stuff, Sarah heals Lynn, I hate you. Lorna's just killing in her corner, until eventually there's only one more house left, and I decide to send Sain.
It's just an ordinary crabby.
I'd forgot that Hector was in this chapter, but it was such a good surprise. Until I finally reached the bad guy, and he's named after the ketchup company. And since he's a dark wizard, I only had my magic-resistant units attack him. You're only striking at air. You're too late. The girl is already... I don't know, I just think he talks like Palpatine. So Ketchup Otto has gone somewhere, and we're looking for Nils' sister at this point, when all of a sudden, a wild Eliwood appears. And if you came to this gaming channel expecting names to be pronounced correctly, you're in the wrong place, dude. Oh, Ninian! She'll be fine, she just lost consciousness, but she's still somehow standing next to me. So he introduces himself as the Prince of Fairy, that his father is the Marquess, and that he saw Ninian with some bad guys, and he felt compelled to rescue her. Typical good guy shit. And so Lynn explains her story to him, that she needs to come back and potentially fight her evil uncle over the inheritance of the kingdom. Hard to believe, huh? No, I believe you. I've seen The Lion King. And so he tells her that his father and Lynn's grandfather are pretty good friends, so he's always down to help her if she needs assistance. So they part on good terms. And so Ninian eventually wakes up, and she's like, who the heck are these people? And Lynn introduces herself, and she's like, well, your brother is a musician. What do you do? I dance? And that's just enough to summon Sain out of nowhere. Oh my, you're a dancer. Pretty flexible, huh? Sain, you have 2 seconds to leave my sight. Ugh, fine. Ninian dances to honor life. It's special. Sacred. A sacred dance? What does that mean? The dance I perform when we travel is just a normal dance. My other dance, though... Let's just say it's pretty special. Also, apparently, she also twisted her ankle when she got kidnapped, so we got another lady here with a bad leg. And while at this point, they explain to Lynn that they want to travel with her, and she's like, heck no, I don't want children on my group. That's a lot of babysitting. And so they explain that they have special abilities. They can sense when danger is nearby, but they can't do anything about it because they chose to go to performing arts school. Alright, fine, let's put it to a vote. As your loyal retainer, I do whatever my lady Lindis wants to do. Lynn, she's a dancer. Alright, you guys are in. And just when you think the chapter's finally over, there's another cutscene of Ninian and Nils explaining to Lynn that they have lost their mother's ring, and they explain it's a special ring because it's the only thing they have from their mother, and it has been graced by Ninnis. And so the chapter ends with Lynn being conflicted about whether to go get the ring or just continue on their journey. And so we are giving you the choice of whether or not to embark on a side quest. Yes, no, maybe so? Tune in next week to find out. Thank you for watching Hugin's Highlights. See you next week.